Hey, you guys. Hey, Instagram. Welcome to the weekly live stream. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Today I'm talking about a very exciting topic. I'm talking about time management and how we can gain back I think 18 plus hours out of the week. I'm going to give you some really concrete um, sort of ways to do that. I'm just going to share this into the Facebook, the Facebook group here. Hang on one second. And if you're not already a member of our Facebook group, I would encourage you to come on over and join the Leather Tamers. We are a group full of aspiring and very seasoned leather workers, all with the common interest of starting a business selling our leather goods. So if you haven't joined us, come on over to the Leather Tamers and get all of your marketing and promotion and pricing and all your business questions answered. Same with anybody watching this on the Leather Beast page. Come on over to the group where it's way more interactive and we're talking about all kinds of business things all the time. Okay, so have you ever felt like you have too much time on your hands? Anyone? Raise your hand if that's you. No, of course not, because most of us are like totally crazy every day, bogged down with all of our responsibilities, our busy schedules, and just our busy lives in general, that if anything, we feel like we don't have enough time. I feel that every day of the week. Always. So today I'm talking to you about time management, how to find those extra 18 hours in your week so that you can really devote those to your leather business and really pushing your business forward and just making a real impact in your business. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mary, the creator of leatherbeast.com, and I work with leather crafters just like you, and I help them go from no sales land to consistent sales and creating businesses that are profitable so that they can make consistent sales month after month. So how do I do that? There are 3 ways that I am doing that. I'm helping leathersmiths just like you get over 3 key obstacles: clarifying your message and really being able to talk about what it is that you have to offer, finding and attracting your customers, and then finally driving quality traffic to your website using marketing methods that actually work. Now, if that sounds like something you'd like more information about, I have a free workshop right now. It's called 5X Your Leather Business. So like 5X, like make it 5 times better. And that's at lucrativeleathercraft.com. And you can go over there and watch that immediately. So before we dive into today's live topic, all about time management, I want to share this week's friendly review. Jackie says, I have just recently started with leather crafting and came across your website. I was so impressed, I immediately signed up to your Facebook page and have gone through all of your tutorials. Needless to say, you've covered many topics that beginners have, and for that, I am so grateful to you for sharing your knowledge and experience. Thank you so much, Jackie. Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to leave a review, head over to leatherbeast.com and click testimonials. Okay. So ever hear people say when you're like, I don't have enough time, I can't do it. They're like, you just need to prioritize your life. Just add it to your to-do list. Just find the time to squeeze one more thing in. This is oftentimes the well-meaning advice from people who have clearly never tried to run a business and have a full-time job and like create and support a family of 3 kids and whatever else. They won't really ever understand that time struggle that you're dealing with unless they're in your shoes, right? So I understand where you are. all the parts except for the kids parts because I don't have kids. But I used to have a full-time job that was very demanding. I would go in early and I would stay late every day because my job was very demanding. And I was also working on my side hustle in the very few hours that I had available when I wasn't completely fried from my day job. Um, so I understand what that hustle is like. And instead of telling you just hustle more and just add one more thing to your list, I want to give you 5 concrete strategies for how to gain back 18 hours per week to work on your leather business. Okay, so number 1, get up early, stay up late. 10 potential hours gained per week. Okay, so groundbreaking, right? Seriously though, I just want to start with the lowest hanging fruit. And it might seem like a no-brainer, but by getting up 2 hours earlier or staying up 2 hours later than you normally would, this can make a huge difference as far as getting business tasks accomplished in your leather business. So I started doing this recently. I mean, I've always kind of been a morning person, so I always generally get up early. But like I said, I don't have kids. And after a couple of my friends recently have started having kids, and after hearing about their morning schedules, and they're just trying to get the kids ready before they have to go to work, they're getting up at like 5 a.m. or something crazy like that. I just kind of got to thinking like, wow, I have a lot more time in the morning and I'm not really using it as well as I could be. Like, do I really need to sleep until 8 a.m.? So I started getting up at 6 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. And so I've gained an extra 10 hours a week, which has actually been kind of amazing. It doesn't seem like much, 2 hours a day, but I have very specific to-do lists that I do during those 2 times. I have a side gig where I kind of do some bookkeeping for clients. So I use those 2 hours every morning to get that out of the way, and then I can get on with the rest of my work. Second strategy, use your limited time wisely. So have you ever sat down to do some work and you finally carve out some time and you sit down and you're like, okay, what should I do? You're like looking for your to-do list, or you're looking at your latest leather project and you're like, where did I leave off with that? Or what's the next step? Or you're looking at the custom order list and you're like, okay, what orders do I need to be working on now? You waste at least 30 minutes just trying to figure out what you're going to do for the next 90 minutes, or however much time that you have allotted for this session of work. So this is not a good use of your limited time, and this can really add up to hours and hours of wasted time each week and each month. So the trick to using your time wisely is to know what you're going to be working on prior to sitting down. Because you don't want to drag yourself, I don't at least, I don't want to drag myself out of bed at 6 a.m. If I'm going to get up at 6 a.m., I want to be using those 2 hours to the max. And I don't want to be spending the first 30 minutes wasting time looking at my Facebook notifications or other things that are just a total time suck. So over a week, that 30 minutes can be 2.5 hours wasted. So make sure you're using your time wisely. It takes a little bit of time to plan it out, but just make sure you have some system in place where when you do get the time, you know exactly what it is that you're sitting down to work on. Number 3, get real with your family, have a little conversation, and do some work on the weekends. So you might be thinking like, no way, I can't work on the weekends. That's my family time. If you have kids, maybe you don't have kids, and that's fine too. But if that's the case, I get it. But what if you sat down with your family and you leveled with them and you said, hey guys, I just need 2 hours today, or I need 2 hours today, Saturday, 2 hours tomorrow, Sunday, or I need 4 hours today, whatever it is, so that I can work on something that's going to be really beneficial for our family. And in the long run, if you give me these 2 or 4 hours of uninterrupted work, if you make the small sacrifice right now, I can really build something that is going to be something that we can all enjoy, whether that's extra income or the ability to go out to dinner more often or to go on vacation, whatever it is. If you kind of level with them and tell them, this is what I need, can you give it to me? I think that really kind of like helps to make sure everybody's on the same page. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody knows the plan. So again, you're not taking your whole Saturday or your whole Sunday and locking yourself away in the garage to work on your leather goods. It's just 2 hours or just 4 hours or just whatever it is that you determine. And if you can get the relevant people, whether that's your spouse or your kids, to agree to that on a weekly basis, that's a gain of 8 hours per month. So that can really add up as well. Number 4, this is one of my favorite ones that, again, I have started implementing in my business recently. So if you're like any other normal person these days, you're super busy. So taking steps to create the systems and processes along the way is a really great way to limit the time, to make the limited time that you have really stretch. So batching your Instagram posts totally falls into this category. So before I started batching my Instagram posts, I used to spend at least 30 minutes a day, sometimes even 45 minutes a day, just trying to figure out which photo I want to post, what the caption is, which hashtags that I'm going to use. Like, it really became, I would do it over breakfast, and it really just kind of became this slog, and day after day after day doing it. I was just like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, and it would take me up to 2.5 hours per week just to post on Instagram once a day. So instead of doing that, I started to take 2 hours, one afternoon or morning a month, usually at the very beginning of the month, and I draft out my Instagram captions for the entire month, my Instagram captions and my hashtags, and I try and pull the photos as well. But sometimes even just getting the captions out is like, it saves so much time. So I've been doing this for the last few months, and it's so much easier when it comes time to post, because I know I just copy, paste, or I already have it all set up and it's a draft in my Instagram, and I just press post. So instead of spending 10 hours a month on Instagram, I'm only spending 2 hours a month by doing it all at once ahead of time. So that does require that you plan ahead and that you kind of know what's happening the month ahead of time. And some things that I think about are there any holidays coming up? Because I'm probably going to want to make a post surrounded about holidays. Do I have any sales that I'm going to do surrounded by those holidays? That's a really great time to do sales, is because people like to shop when it's a holiday and they have time off of work. And then I have a little bit of a schedule each week. I know kind of day to day what I'm posting about. For instance, for Leather Beast, every Tuesday is Tuesday's tip. So I know that every Tuesday, I know the format for those posts. So as I go through the month, I'm kind of thinking about things as I hear things on the podcasts that I listen to, on the books that I'm reading. I kind of pull these little nuggets out, I make a note, and then when it comes time for me to sit down and plan out my Instagram posts, I already kind of have these little nuggets that then I kind of can create my post around. On Fridays, I like to kind of reach out and talk about my favorite leather crafters. So that's always what's happening on Friday. So, and then I just kind of fill in with the other posts. Okay, and finally, number 5, this is kind of like a two-parter here. Create systems for your marketing processes. So you want to create the systems surrounded by process that you're repeating on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, so that you don't have to waste the time recreating the wheel every time you're doing these processes that happen each week. So for instance, if you blog about your leather goods, you're going to want to share your blog post, obviously, on your Instagram, on your Facebook, on your Pinterest, and who knows where else, right? It's like there's so many different places. And so unless you have a system in place for doing this, it can take a lot of time to like figure out like, oh, where else do I have to put it? And where do I have to, what's the copy and the description for Pinterest and the description for Facebook. So I do that with my own blog. This blog, for example, what I'm talking about today, this started as a blog post. I just published it today. I do that every Wednesday. I publish a new piece of content, and then I have a whole cycle for the syndication for where I am putting it out. This live stream right now is part of that cycle. I do it every week, and I'm going live on the Facebook page right now, the Leather Tamers Facebook group, the Instagram live, And when I'm done with this live, then I'm going to download it. I'm going to upload it to YouTube for all the subscribers over there. I'm going to put it on Pinterest. I have to create graphics for Pinterest. I'm going to post about it on Instagram again. I'm going to send it to my email. There's this whole thing. It's like a 20-step process, which used to take me about 3 hours per week to get through the whole thing and put it everywhere that I wanted to put it, so that I can get it out to the people who really want to read my blog post and watch the video. But now, since I've created this system and I have my checklist, and I don't have to think about like, oh, what's next, where I should be posting it somewhere next. It only takes me about an hour to do it. After I get off this live stream, I download it. I know what I'm doing. I know where it has to go. I know how to create the graphics. I have templates. So that saves me a ton of time because I've created a system for this marketing process. So part 2 of this is to automate. So you also want to automate tasks wherever you can in your business along the way. And this is going to save you a ton of time. One automation that has saved me, it probably saves me the biggest amount of time, is my email welcome sales funnel that I have. So anytime someone signs up at my website, they get a welcome email from me and they get dropped into this email sequence. They hear from me about 10 times over the next 4 weeks with different things. I talk about my brand, I talk about sales that I have, and it's a sales funnel. Now, if I had to email those new subscribers individually each week over 10 times over the next 4 weeks, how long would that take? I don't even know, because per subscriber, I'm estimating at least like 2 hours per subscriber. I don't know how that boils down. It just depends on how many people subscribe to my website. But as you can imagine, that is saving a ton of time. So anytime you can automate, do that, and do that as soon as possible to gain those hours back. Okay, guys, so that is 18, I think it's actually 18 and a half hours. And I have a bonus here. So if you're still feeling like after these 5 strategies for gaining back more time in your leather business, if you're still feeling like, yeah, okay, that's a lot of the marketing and the promotion stuff that I can do early in the AM, you know, but what about the actual leather work? When can I find the time to complete some of these leather masterpieces that I really want to be working on? Well, if you're still struggling to find the time to produce your line of leather goods after you've done all the above, after you've actually tried to go in and you've made sure that you're using your limited time wisely, then I want you to take a look at what you're creating and try and simplify. Simplify the design so that it doesn't take you as long to produce. Simplify the amount of designs that you use. Can you get an assembly line type rhythm going? I've done this in my own business. I've streamlined my options. I'm kind of in the process of doing this as well, to just 3 bag options, because I don't want to have to be able to manage like 10 different designs. That's a lot of different materials. It's a lot of different hardware that's required. I've streamlined my my designs because I don't have someone who helps me with production. It's just me. So I've realized that I can't do it all. So I had to streamline my options to my 3 best sellers. And that has really helped me to kind of use my time a little bit more wisely. And it might not be ideal to do that. And you might be thinking like, oh, I don't want to streamline my designs. Like, that's the whole reason I'm doing it. But that not doing that, like what is worse? Not streamlining it, or being able to create all of these things but not have time to market your business so you never make money, or streamlining, cutting down so you start to make some money in your business, and then eventually you can invest in people to help you to manage your business, so that you can create those more and more complex designs that you want. I hope that makes sense. So, is it hard to get up earlier to prioritize your work and plan out your tasks and create systems and automate processes in your leather business? Sure. But if I told you that if you did this on the front end, it could give you back 18 hours per week to be able to create a leather business that's profitable and successful, would you do it? I would. And I am doing it. And, there's always more time that we need in the week, but hopefully you can use some of these 5 strategies and gain back some time so that you can use your time for your leather business. So this was one of the top things that you guys told me that you wanted me to talk about on that survey that you did a couple weeks ago, along with pricing. This was one of the top things, time management. So I hope this is helping you specifically if you're one of those people who took my survey. And I have a challenge for you. Over the next 30 days, I would love it if you would implement these time management tasks into your leather business and see how much more you can accomplish in your business in the next 30 days. You might be able to accomplish more in the next 30 days than you have in the last 3 months. And I would love for you to come back here and tell me, come back to this thread, come back to the blog article, and let me know how that is going for you. All right, you guys. So that is it for this week. If you feel like this video would help one of your fellow leather crafters, feel free to share it on your timeline, in your Facebook group or your page, and leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Until next week, I will talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.